The sad end of YNW Melly is near. Today, the prosecutors changed the upcoming YNW Melly trial forever as it would be shared. The prosecutor adds 58 songs and 4 album covers into evidence for the YNW Melly trial, including lyrics from songs like M on My Mind, Six Kiss, and Virtual. This all featured lyrics that relate to the crime that was committed against Sakchaser and Juvy. This was expected as his trial has a new judge, as the newly added Judge Fiend is allowing a lot of evidence through that the last judge didn't. The lyrics in question are: yellow tape around his body, his face is on a t-shirt, and his family's traumatized. I didn't even mean to do it, he caught me by surprise. I reloaded my firearm and used it twice. To then the lyrics: he grabbed me by my hands and said he was afraid to go. I told him it's too late, my friend, it's time to say goodbye. Obviously, having to change a few of the lyrics, you can guess how serious this is. However, the prosecutors would then double down on Melly in court, making sure he doesn't receive a bond out of jail by sharing with Judge Fiend the evidence from Melly's phone, where he would send a text message hours after the crime admitting to it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from somebody's Facebook Live, where it shows Melly and Bortland's reaction to the crime only 6 hours after it was done.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! The dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Them being seen not showing an ounce of sadness for the passing of their two best friends. This seemed to work as it made Melly extremely angry inside of the courtroom, as the court day started with, and I quote, Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton has been released from the Paul Reed detention facility as of Saturday, February 8th, after Judge Fiend's ruling for her release on Friday at an emergency hearing. Friday's hearing marked the first time that Melly and Mariah had seen each other in person since he surrendered himself in 2019, as this would end up resulting in YNW Melly's lawyers arguing for his own release as well. And the judge even agreed, as it would be announced, Mr. Demmons has been in custody for 2,202 days, and if one of the state attorneys is not available, maybe the other two assigned to this case could stand in. If all 3 aren't available, maybe one of the 150 state attorneys upstairs might sit in. This means Judge Fiend is not playing any games. He's pushing Melly's case through, which is what he needs. However, Mariah getting released is not good for Melly, and allow me to explain. As Mariah would acknowledge her family and friends who supported her while being detained in a Facebook post on Sunday. The post reads, "Into my village, thank you to my village. I love you so much, God's plan, not mine," as she allegedly didn't like how this was broadcasted on the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demmons' first trial in 2023.
As Mariah Hamilton left the United States before YNW Melly's trial, as she was ordered to testify against YNW Melly for what she knows, but she would just leave the United States. The feds already know what happened to Sakchaser and Juvy. All they need is for her to confirm it in the upcoming retrial, and she would confirm that she will testify against Melly if she gets released from jail. As the feds exposed all the findings in her iCloud account, they noticed the suspicious activity that relates to Melly forcing her to not testify, which is also known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly gets found guilty of taking out Sakchaser and Juvy.
Filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As the very sad reality is, YNW Melly has a chance of being found not guilty for the passing of Sakchaser and Juvy, but the feds, they have it on lock that Melly was witness tampering, which carries a life sentence regardless if he did the crime, to Sakchaser and Juvy. As the feds began their investigation on Mariah, after people in Melly's hometown began speaking about Mariah's involvement, this even resulted in Juvy's father doing his own investigation, asking around town from all people in every block, as he even learned the code words that Melly used against Mariah to make her not testify.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom, and
this didn't end up settling well for Melly, as during his first court hearing back, leading into his retrial, he walked in looking very angry without a haircut. But it would also be this moment where the judge was surprised to learn about Melly's jail situation. A report reads, Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days.
No, let me repeat myself. Mr. Devins has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office. But I can, as I said, I'm just asking for, and then I'm asking for at least a day or two. At minimum.
Decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
As this ended up being the #1 moment to have Melly's lawyers get him released from jail, here's how it went. Acknowledging the judge was surprised that he's been sitting in jail for over 2,000 days, Melly's lawyers would then double down, telling him he also hasn't been treated right in jail, bringing up an interview from Melly's mother, who stated that Melly's not even allowed to use a phone or even look at his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
Then sharing a very heartbreaking moment in that same interview where Jamie King reveals that she is absolutely heartbroken and feels helpless as he's not even being treated like a human.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
As this ended up hitting the rap industry quite hard, we would even see rap OG Boosie speak out about Jamie King's stress as his own mother went through a similar experience.
Okay, so then I met his mama while he was in. Oh, okay. I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
The judge would then ask the prosecutors on a defense to all this, as Melly should be granted at least house arrest at the minimum. This is when the feds swooped in and announced new charges against Melly and Borland. As when Borland's home was raided by the feds, they found insane paperwork stuffed into a suitcase where YNW Borland drew out all the jurors in Melly's original trial. As a description would read, "Here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Borland.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
This is extremely illegal, as the jurors are meant to be hidden within a trial process. Even to understand how serious it is, here's DJ Academics' reaction.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
As they would then allow Melly's lawyers one last chance to give a solid reason as to why Melly should be released, they would end up bringing up evidence from the original trial of Melly texting his ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton when the crime was going down, when he was seen on GPS evidence running away from the men on the street and hiding into a bush.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sak and Juvy? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
Proving that Melly was being chased by a car with members in it, as according to GPS evidence, it tracked Melly sprinting down a street, while also sharing with the new judge Fiend that there was never a firearm ever found, which does end up supporting a drive-by theory.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.